Hello, gang. Welcome to the weekly webinar on the Manager Hacker page. My name is Dominic. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder of the self-achievement system, the system that I designed to help all of us make better decisions. And in this video, I'm going to discuss an awesome article that I found by a guy named Dr. Travis Bradberry, who wrote a book that is called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. I don't think he's the original author of the book, Emotional Intelligence, because I have it right here and his name isn't on it. So he wrote it, another version of it, and published it. From what I read about Dr. Travis, he's a pretty smart guy. He's got 10 or so books out there in the world, and he's very active on LinkedIn, and pretty smart guy. And the article that I found was a study that his company called Talent Smart had did. I don't know when, but it says the research was conducted with more than 1 million people. 1 million people? That's a lot of people. And they found that it was about bosses, the best bosses. We found that the best bosses have a lot in common. In particular, 90% of them are skilled at managing their emotions in order to stay focused, calm, and productive. So, as I was reading this article, I was thinking to myself, wow, there's so much information about what it takes to be a great manager. And so he's put together, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of these different things about the traits. Okay? But my thought is this. What if your manager doesn't have those traits, or they have some and not the other, and they're making you crazy? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Hopefully this is going to be short, not too long. I was a student with the Institute for Self-Actualization for over 20 years, and I was not only a student, but I was also one of their facilitators, and I learned so much about emotional intelligence, and it was from a different perspective. And the perspective really was about being in charge, in control of this guy up here, or this woman up here. You know, are you in control of this, or is this in control of you, kind of way of thinking? And the term self-actualization, if you haven't ever heard of that, is a term that came from Maslow, who coined that. And I'll let you do the research on it. But anyway, I did that for a long time, and then there was a point that I decided to venture out and go into the world, and I actually taught a course in managing emotions for about 3 years all over the country. So I traveled and taught this course and learned so much while I was doing that, you know, thinking I had a lot of information and a lot of experience before I taught it, so that kind of gave me the credentials to do it. But what I learned was that, yeah, even though I knew and had experienced a lot, I was a lot more to learn. And so one of the biggest things that I realized is that I was really shocked at the response from a lot of the people that were there in the audience learning or wanting to learn. And the biggest thing that I realized was that these people wanted a magic pill. It's like they wanted their manager to instantly be, you know, emotionally intelligent, and it's like they really weren't willing to do what it takes to offset that. You know, that's the big thing. So they're waiting for their manager to change, and they're going back to their workspace with some information. But what they don't realize is that the manager needs to be there, not them. I mean, well, them, of course, they're going to benefit, but the manager is the one that needs to be emotionally intelligent. So, you know, they wanted their managers just to get it like that and instantly be enlightened, and that's just not the way that it works in the world. And, you know, when I told them that, they were the ones that were going to have to change, then that became, oh, well, I mean, it's up to me. I have to change. I have to change my approach. Well, of course. Of course you do. So anyway, these 10 items that Dr. Travis has put together, he says, number one, they're composed. So after all this research, these managers that have high emotional intelligence, they're great bosses, are composed because they constantly monitor their emotions, they understand them, and they use this knowledge in the moment to react to challenging situations with self-control. Well, of course, I mean, a great manager that has been trained or has been in the business for years or works for a really high-level company, they're going to be in those positions because they've earned the right to be there. Yes, they're definitely going to be composed. They're graceful. Graceful people are perfect combinations of strong and gentle. They don't distort to intimidation, anger, or manipulation to get a point across because they're gentle, self-assured, and they get the job done. Nice. I wish everybody in the world had a manager like that. They're knowledgeable. Great managers are knowledgeable. They are. They know more than others do because they're constantly working to create their self-awareness. And, if you've read my book or if you know a little bit about me, I'm all about the self-awareness. And I'm a student of self-awareness myself. It takes a lot of work. And, it's about the self-awareness. They they vow constant growth. Whether they have a spare moment, they fill it with self-education. So, a great manager is going to have that. They're honest. Great bosses trust that honesty and integrity throughout though painful at times, always work out for the best in the long run. Great managers have that. They're deliberate. Great bosses reach decisions by thinking things out, seeking advice from others, and sleeping on it. Great managers do that. Of course they do. They speak with certainty. It's rare to hear great bosses utter things like, I'm not sure, and I think. Well, because they speak with certainty. They know the direction that they're going. They have the background information, knowledge behind that. So yes, they speak with certainty, of course. They use positive body language. Yes, they stand up straight, becoming cognizant of your gestures. That's all about self-awareness, right? Using your body as a tool. Expressions and tone of voice and making certain they're positive draws people to you like ants to a picnic. Ants to a picnic. I like that. I didn't write that, but that's what he said. They're confident. Successful leaders like to challenge themselves and compete, even when their efforts yield only small victories. Absolutely. Number 9, they're fearless. Fear is nothing more than a lingering emotion that's fueled by imagination. Danger is real. It's the uncomfortable rush of adrenaline you get when you almost step in front of a bus. Fear, right? So they're fearless. You think they're totally fearless? I don't think so. But they're fearless. They're grateful. Ultra successful leaders. Now we're going to another step above that. They're ultra successful leaders that know that it took a lot of ambition, passion, and hard work to get where they are in life. They also know that their mentors, colleagues, families, and friends all played a huge role in their success. So those are characteristics, traits of great managers, right? And that's great to have the intellectual information. And it's also wonderful if you have a manager like that. But the question is, what if you don't? What about the frustration that goes on a daily basis when you don't have a manager that has these qualities? Because I'll tell you, I don't have to tell you. I've been in a lot of companies, and sometimes these managers make a big pretense about how great they are. They puff up their ego and whatever. But most of them in the background, they're really uncertain. So the question really is what do you do, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about my book. Now, I'm talking about this now because there's all this stuff about, oh, well, if you're going to put content online you can't talk about, you can't sell your book. Well, here's the deal. I'm not selling my book anymore. I'm giving it away for free. Totally different approach, right? So I think do it differently. Give it away. Why not? So in the book, Manager Hacker, right, I outline there are 5 different things, right? If you don't have a manager that have all these amazing qualities, what do you do, right? So here's what it is, right? So the hack number 1, think like your manager. Think like your manager. Now, I don't have time to go into the detail, but that's the first hack. After all the years of teaching management skills to managers, it's like I realized, wait a minute, the people that are frustrated need the secrets, the hacking the manager that's not an ideal manager. So you have to begin to think like them. What do they go through? What's happening in their mind every day? What are the challenges? What are they up against? So you think like your manager, not an ideal manager. You have to know their opinions on upper management. Very important to know their opinion. And you're not like asking them directly these questions. You have to do a little bit of investigation. This is why on the cover of the book there's our little sleuth guy. He's the detective, right? So you have to find out this information. If you want to get out of that scenario and you want to get into a better scenario, a better situation, or move into a different organization or a different part of your organization faster to get away from your unideal manager, these are the secret hacks. The third one is to know your manager's motivators. Now, there's 2 different kinds of motivators. One are called motivators. The other one is called demotivators. So you need to know what they are so that you know how to behave, you know how to act while you're doing your daily job, so that you feed into those and don't mess them up, right? So the next one is to know your manager's day job. Now, you may think, well, I know what my manager does, but there's always more to understand, and the reason behind that is so that you can support their efforts. Your manager will never tell you that they want you to help them meet their goals more than they want you to meet your goals. They'll never tell you that, but it's true. So that's the 4th one, and then the next one is know your manager's real job. Their real job, whether you know this or not, or hey, maybe you've heard me say this before, their real job is to create and constantly create and nurture an amazing, positive, healthy relationship with all of their people. And I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, I've seen it. Some of these managers, you may have one, I'm not really sure. But here's the deal, okay? This book can be yours, but it's not going to be in paperback, okay? I am working on revising my first edition of the book so that it's better, because I've sent this out to a few people. Look at this. Whoops. There are some blue marks in there that are not pretty. So it was in the translation of the book when it got uploaded to Amazon. So anyway, who cares? In about a week, I'm going to be done with this, and I'm going to be coming back, and I'm going to have the link for you so you can download the book and read the information that you need. Fair deal? I see there's a few people on there while I'm here. Ramez, hey, there you are. Hisham. Guys, if you have any questions right now, type them in real quick so I can answer them. I'm at 14 and a half minutes. So, yeah, this is so difficult to do in 5 or 6 or 7, under 10 minutes. Almost impossible. So, I'm looking for your questions. I don't see any. That's cool. Well, anyway, so I hope that was good news for you. If this is like, this, I don't need this book, don't worry about it. But if you know somebody that could use the information, make a little note or set a reminder on your phone, or come back next week, whatever you want to do, and pass this on to them. Pay it forward. Okay? That would make my day, because I'm all about helping people to make better decisions, including myself. So I don't see any questions. You guys, wonderful. I'll see you next time. Have yourself a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now. Bye-bye.